Hi guys, I'm not really sure why this thing just automatically went live. What the heck? We're back. Hi you all. So I'm back in nature. I was just looking for a lipstick to put on, guys. Oh, wow. It's my lucky day. I actually have my makeup hidden in my bag. So I'm here to get some nature, get some sun, and work out with you guys. And I think this will be, I gotta get some water. My throat has been talking a lot. In general, since like last year of election day, I've been talking so much that I'm just like sick of talking at this point. It's like a lot going on. Let me get my water, guys. I hope you all are doing okay. There's been a lot of crazy news of late, so I hope you all are okay. I'm doing okay. Yeah, just bring some color to my face because it's cold outside. Which I prefer the cold, as everybody knows already, but oh, maybe I put a little bit too much there. Let me get a napkin. Where is a napkin? Yeah, just a little bit more color, you know. Let me get some water, guys, before I start talking to you all. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you watch this video. Let me get some water. Oh my God, that feels like I just drank out of the Atlantic Ocean or the Alaskan Sea. All right, so gonna bring my water, gonna go for a walk, get my key, and talk to you guys for a little bit. I don't know how long I'm gonna walk this morning because there's a lot going on. Oh, let me open the door. I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit down, guys. Hope the audio works. I hope the audio works, guys. It's a bit noisy, so I have to go and find a quiet place to talk to you all. It's a bit noisy. Like, it's a bit noisy. Because I parked facing the road. Okay, yeah, it's a lot more quiet over here. Thank God. Thank God, it's a lot more quiet over here, guys. It's a lot more quiet. I'm trying to find a quiet place to talk because it's a bit noisy today. I'm not really sure why. Normally when I come out in nature, it's not that noisy, but today it's like really noisy. So I'm just gonna try to go with the flow. I hope you guys can hear me as well. I'm not at home. I am not at home to check my AirPods, so hopefully you guys can hear me. So let me see if I can fix this. Okay, let me check my microphone, guys. If anybody could just thumbs up and let me know if they can hear me, that'd be great, because I don't want to start talking and then people can't hear me. And as you guys know, sometimes YouTube messes with the audio, so I always get a little bit like, I always kind of look at like, you know, always kind of like question if you guys can hear me or not. But oh, wow, this path feels different today. So anyway, I'm just gonna dive in because this video today is going to help myself, and whether you guys can hear me or not, I hope you guys can, but I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep talking, so hopefully you guys can hear me. So where should we even start, guys? Well, to me, 2025 has better vibes than 2024 for me. Now, I fully understand that some people, especially in America, are in certain states that are going through crazy shit right now. So for those people, especially like, for example, California, I'm sure everybody knows by now that California has been going through a lot of shit, and I'm devastated for them. Myself, as you guys know, I had to witness. This tree's a bit loud. I had to witness the sudden passing of my my dog in August of last year, and then a lot of shit that followed after was just awful. And then to add insult to injury, we have back-to-back hurricanes in my state. So trust me, I know what tragedy looks like. I know what long suffering looks like. Been there, done that. And when I move out of America, I will not be missing that, because these so-called natural disasters are actually insane. So my heart does go to everybody who has not been able to recover from something, or maybe they're going through a hard time. I mean, a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff, including myself, but I'm trying to my throat. I'm trying to find the positives, you know. I'm gonna get back up and walk. Put this on my key. Oh, I think I have pockets, guys. Yeah, I have pockets. I don't have to carry my key around. Great. Awesome. So I came into the new year very, very positive. I still feel very, 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 very positive. And I saw people on TikTok that, I wouldn't say negative, because negative sounds a bit harsh, but that's kind of the word I want to use. Like, I did see people on TikTok that were like, the free trial, the 7-day free trial. Oh Lord. The 7-day free trial of 2025. I almost said 2027 there. The free trial of 2025. They're not interested. They want to go back to last year. I don't want to go back to last year. Last year it was awful, to put it mildly. And they're like, see you next year. This year's a dub. Fuck this year. And I'm like, okay, you know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. That's not how I feel, you know. And I just, you know, going through what I've been going through, and you know, this is a life-altering, life-changing year, you know, make no mistake about it. And personally, I have had talks with the divine, and the divine has told me multiple times that this is the year of restoration. You know, this is the year of Jubilee. And I do believe that, you know. It doesn't mean that people are not going to go through things. It doesn't mean that we're not going to go through things, because we are. You know, I want to make this very clear. Like, I hate to burst people's bubble, but if we haven't realized by now, you know, as long as you're alive, as long as you're alive, you're going to go through something. And whether you're religious or not religious, or you're spiritual, or you don't like to label yourself, whatever, you know, whatever you got going on there. I just want to bring some clarity to somebody this morning, and I've already brought this clarity. Is that a fucking eagle, guys, in front of me? Like an actual fucking eagle? Hold on. Is that an eagle, guys? Or is that just like a statue? What is that? Because that would fucking freak me out. Can you imagine like a big ass bird? Like, what is that? I don't know. I'm just gonna walk away. Anyway, so let's kind of clear something up here. I feel like Abraham Hicks for some reason. Am I channeling Abraham Hicks, guys? I don't know. I'm just feeling her vibe for some reason. As long as we're alive, guys, we're gonna go through bad shit. I'm sorry to break the bubble today, but it doesn't matter if you pray 50 times a day. Like, yes, it may help. You know, some people will say that it gives them an advantage. I hope it does for your sake. Do I personally believe it's going to give a massive advantage? I don't know. You know, I don't have a clear answer if those kind of like religious rituals really help or not. It's kind of hard to tell, you know. But there is, as long as you're alive, as long as we're alive, there is no exemption from challenges. Now I feel like Eckhart Tolle. There is no exemption, guys, from pain and suffering. Okay? So the saving grace in that, the positive in that is that, oh, I just saw a butterfly. I just saw an orange butterfly. The positive in that, guys, is that you accept what is, and where you can try to make progress, where you can try to negotiate, where you can try to look for the positives and create a positive reaction and change, it's gonna work itself out, you know. It will work itself out. And I have had so much life experience at this point where, and I kind of said a little bit of this in my other videos, the last video I think I did with you guys in nature, where I was telling you all that I have just had way too much life experience at this point to doubt what I've learned about life, you know? And I know it's not the, you know, cotton candy and Skittles message, nor should it be. But in order to get to the promised land, in order to attract more positive, beautiful things in your life than negative, this is a part of it, guys. This is a part of the acceptance that people, especially adults, have to accept. And I want to segue a little bit and add on to that and say that the choices that we make, the energy we put out is crucial, you know. I'm gonna walk in the grass a little bit. It's crucial to our quality of life. And I've really realized this in a bigger scale, that Whenever something wants us to rush, like whether it's a person or a contract or a purchase, like whatever it is, guys, there's rarely, there is rarely, like rarely, anything good that comes out of a rush decision. And a lot of people, I see it on TikTok, I see it all over TikTok, a lot of people will testify, right? They'll testify and say, if only I knew better, if only I took the time, right? Like that's very common to hear. If only I did this, if only I did that. Well, you didn't, right? We didn't. We didn't. So a part of living life is taking it on the chin, you know, taking negative things on the chin and owning your personal power. Okay? If you find yourself in a dilemma, you don't have to automatically give over your sleep, give over your health, give over your emotions. Like, you know, I think people get confused because life is going at 100 miles per hour, right? I think people get confused and they assume that if they're not conscious and aware, they get into this energy of like, everything is happening to me, you know, woe is me. And initially, that's fine, you know, like initially, trust me, I've been there. Initially, that is all well and good. But at some point, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna get so tired of that same playbook and you're gonna wanna switch it up, right? And so, even in my own experience, it's like, if you feel like crying, then cry, you know? If you feel like being upset, then be upset. But the bottom line is that you have to kind of take a step back if you can and try to ask yourself, like, how is this helping me? Because sometimes, guys, our emotions, our reactions, our way of thinking is making a situation more worse than it actually is. And also, here's another thing that I wanted to add. Life is unfair, okay? That's just a fact of life. You know, people that you think are evil are living on a hill, right? And whatever else they're doing with their lives. But I want to pose the question again, like, how is that helping you? How is that helping me? It's not. It's nothing to do with us, right? So, oh, this is a really, really nice quiet part of the park. Look how quiet. Oh my God. Like virtually nobody's back here. I got a good spot to talk with you guys. Hopefully the audio is working. What is that noise though? What is that, a plane? Yeah, it's a plane. Maybe I should go more over there because it's not as noisy. I'm not really sure. There's a plane crossing over and it's really loud. It's gonna pass soon. And that's also the message I want to tell you guys, is that anything that, you know, is hard and unfair and feels negative or whatever else is going on, guys, it's gonna pass. Okay, it is gonna pass. I think I saw this one video of this guy who, he was born and raised in California, and he was saying how, you know, seeing his whole city on fire kind of gave him a perspective on life that he didn't have before. And he really wonders, like, what is all the hustle culture for? What is this for? What is that for? Blah 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 blah. And in a weird about way, guys, it's like these tragedies give people an insight that they didn't have before. And I always find that so unfortunate, because I feel like the universe sometimes will not give us as harsh lessons if we don't, like, have gratitude, and if we're not, like, paying attention to, like, what we do have and, like, what we are doing at that current moment. I almost feel like sometimes the lessons that the universe wants to give us is that much harsher. And it does seem like with human beings, it does appear to me that the harsher the experience, the higher the lesson, you know? The example of, like, marrying the wrong person just came to my mind. I don't know why, but that example kind of just came up to me as, like, people will not have a prenup, you know, people will marry the wrong person. And then when, you know, 5 years go by, 7 years go by, 17, whatever, like, you know, a bunch of years pass, then it's like after the fact, they're like, you know, I didn't properly vet the person, or I didn't properly, like, I didn't see the red flags, or, you know, they always have something to say after the fact. And it could just be human nature, guys, you know, it could just be human nature. But I think the difference is trying to decipher, you know, what lessons you want to learn and be done with, and you don't have to repeat them. And then other life lessons in life that, you know, keep coming up. And I saw one YouTuber one time say, you know, you're gonna pay on the front end or you're gonna pay on the back end, but you're gonna pay. And that kind of has, like, stuck with me, you know. And it doesn't sound the prettiest, I get it, it doesn't sound like the, you know, the nicest, but it's true, you know. Like, in this life, guys, nobody gets off scotch-free. Nobody comes out of life without a couple scrapes and bruises. Nobody, you know. Nobody goes through life pristine, clean all the time. That's just not the reality. And, you know, whether you're spiritual, religious, or both, or whatever, you know, you believe or you practice, or how you choose to live your life, I just think that, and as much as I could do with this video to help people and help and put this out here, and it's also a good reminder for myself, because I do watch my own videos back. There's a pretty bird that just squawked. You guys heard the bird? I do, like, I absolutely, there's a bird over there. I'll show you guys a bird. If I could find the bird in the trees, I don't know where it went. But, you know, the fact is, life is unfair. And at least for me, in that clarity, like, there's a quote in the Bible that says, "It shall rain on the just and the unjust." You know, that's just an example of a scripture or a quote that relates to humanity, guys. Like, you know, bad things and good things happen to people who deserve it and to people who don't deserve it. And so maybe a way to help us living this life, getting through this life, is to realize that it's not always a personal attack, you know? it's not always a personal attack. It feels like that. It definitely feels like that. But if you're open to wisdom, if you're open to a higher intelligence, you're gonna try to transmute a negative circumstance, a negative situation, a negative feeling. There's a FedEx truck. And at some point, you're gonna want to make it positive. You know, there's no way out. There is no way out, guys. You know, like as long as you're alive, as long as you're breathing, like there's no way out of this. You know, we don't have a choice but to evolve, you know? We don't have a choice but to rise to the occasion. And I don't know about you all. I would hope that, you guys are, you know, on the same frequency in terms of this, but at least for me, I have walked into this year with this unwavering energy of like, I don't care what comes my way. I don't care what happens this year. It's like, I've just learned a lot. I've learned an incredible amount of information and insight on how to stand up for myself, stand in my power, own my personal power, and how to regulate and control how I react and what I allow in my life. That's a big thing for me. And I do think that sadly, sometimes it has to take a lot of tragedy, a lot of disappointment, a lot of confusion to get to that place where you say, I'm here, I'm alive, whether people want to debate, if they chose to be here or not, I don't know. I mean, I've heard different spiritual philosophies about, Earth being like a prison planet, and then people don't say that's not true. And I've heard other people say that, you choose your parents, then people say that you don't choose. I mean, so reconnect. What that, guys? It said reconnect. I don't know why I said that. So my advice, guys, is to pick and choose your battles, and hope I'm back now. Yeah. Pick and choose your battles. And I would advise to not go through the year. Don't go through the year, half-assedly and then expecting, glitters and diamonds. Don't go through the year just trudging along when you could make the year a great year, And like I said, it's not to say, guys, that the weapons will not form, but what the divine promised us with obedience and steadfastness is that the weapons will not prosper. Okay? So, whenever you're going through a tough season, or you're looking at what's happening in the world and you feel depressed or whatever's going on with you, just remember that this too shall pass. And in the moment, it feels like hell. It's painful, it's hurtful. I had a business call this morning with one of my banks, and by the time I got to like the fourth representative, because apparently, I guess for the task at hand, they all had a different duty. I don't fucking work for that bank, so I wouldn't fucking know, like, what's a proper way of handling a customer and what's not. Like, if I don't feel like I'm getting the help I need, I'll just simply hang up and try someone else, right? And funny enough, by the time it was the third person. By the time I got to the third representative, the guy was like, so I told him I was on the phone for 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes. And he was like shocked. He's like, in all this time, they couldn't help you? And I'm like, I just laughed. I'm like, apparently not. Apparently not. 30 plus minutes on the phone. But, wow, it's windy, guys. But that's just like how life is, you know? Eventually, right? Eventually, something or someone will come along and say, what's going on here, you know? And they'll side with you and they'll support you, you know? And I was supported. And I said to him, I don't know what's going on, but I've been on the phone professionally, patiently, respectfully for 30 plus minutes. And to him, he was like appalled. He's like, why would it take that long? And I'm like, well, because they keep transferring me. And, you know, one second, there's another airplane. There's a lot of airplanes over here, guys. This is weird. Golly. And I said to the guy, apparently they're telling me that they don't know how to perform the task at hand, you know? So am I gonna like get upset and argue and negative? No, not at all. It's actually quite the opposite, you know? I just told the guy, well, I choose, here we go again, the choosing thing. I choose to believe, let's just sit over there. I said to the guy, I choose to believe that they did their best. And so now I'm happy that I'm talking with you. And that's that. And also something else that I want to bring into this video and bring into the new year as a realization is that you have to know who you are and you have to focus on yourself. I think a lot of people get caught up with the stresses of life because they're trying to appease other people and they're trying to be something they're not, and they're not being authentic is basically what I'm saying. They're not being authentic. And so if you are an authentic person and you're authentic of what you say and your actions and your intent, you don't have to worry about how things perceive you. You don't have to worry about who's judging you or who's casting evil eye or whatever on you, because you're gonna be so confident in your spirit team and the divine and God and yourself that that's not going to affect you. And it does take maturity, and it does take grace, and it does take an awful lot of strength. I will say that. Like, a majority of everything I've talked about in this video takes an obscene amount of self-control and meditative practices, at least for me, because I find that like breathing in, breathing out, like right now, like breathing in, breathing out, like having techniques. This is a really pretty view, guys. Look at this view. Like having techniques on how to regulate yourself, how to calm yourself down, how to be productive opposed to busy. Because like I learned very quickly from last year that busy does not equal productive. Like the word busy does not equal the word productive. Productive is not always chaotic. Productive is not always like, you know, being like a headless chicken running around trying to get something done. Like why, like, I just learned a lot from last year. It's like, why try to get things done feeling like you're losing control when you can simply be in control and enjoy the moment and calm down and be one with nature, be one with the divine, be one with the universe, and achieve, if not more, than what you're achieving by being stressed out, by being um, by giving a flamboyant response. Like, you just have to own your power. You know, it doesn't matter what anyone says to you. It doesn't matter what's gonna come your way or what may come your way or what's going on in the world. Like, it actually doesn't matter. What matters is how you react to it, how you bounce back, and how you grow from it. So that's a couple things that I have just realized on a big scale transitioning into 2025. And I want to tell you all, this is not the time to give up. You know, if you want to give up completely. You know, don't do anything, don't do anything half-assed, guys. Like, if you don't want to do something, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you want to do something, then do it with your whole heart and dedicate yourself and pace yourself and thank yourself for being who you are and thank yourself for bringing yourself this far. You know, that's what you should be feeling. You shouldn't be feeling like, woe is me, because that doesn't help. You know, that doesn't help. My mentality, especially these days, is I look for the solution. I don't want to do the small chat. I don't want to, you know, go in circles, go in circles, go in circles. My thing for me is like, I just want to find the solution. That's how I operate. And so whenever I feel like I'm talking to somebody or I'm in a situation where I feel like we're just going in circles, you have to be mature enough to know when to like stop that cycle and say, you know what? This is not productive. This is not helping me or you, you know, because some people, they're not mature enough, whether it's a business or a person or whatever. The other party, I should say, is not always going to be mature enough to stop the shenanigans, to stop the games, to stop the lying, to stop the manipulation. And most of the time, they're not gonna. So, as they say, there always has to be that one person who's like a peacemaker, right? That one person or a group of people that are willing to put their pride aside, like willing to put their pride aside and say, what is the solution? Because that's how I talk on the phone. Like, especially nowadays, I'm like, I don't want to go back and forth. If you want to have drama, if you like drama, good luck to you, but like, I don't like drama. And even if it's a business call, I don't care. Like, whatever, whoever, whatever it is, it's like, if I don't see the solution, if I don't even see the benefit, like, I'm not going to continue that course of action. I'm not going to continue that conversation. So that's something that a lot of people could benefit from. Like, a lot of people could benefit from that realization. Is you don't have to play by their rules. You don't. And you don't have to let the situation or person, etc., drain you. You know, that's a choice. You know, there's a common quote that I would hear mothers say, which is, they're draining me. My kids are draining me. Have you guys ever heard that? Maybe you're a mom watching and you've said that before. My kids are draining me. They're draining me. They're draining. That's a choice, guys. That's a choice. That's a choice. Whatever is draining you has to have your permission to drain you. I think that's just mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop. And so, it's another plane. So another little quick recap The sun is beaming. Can you guys see the sun beaming on me? The sun is beaming, honey. It feels nice though, so I like it, but I don't want to put my eyeballs directly on the sun. But anyway, so quick recap, okay? Quick recap. Yes, life is not fair, okay? Things happen to all of us that are beyond comprehension. Like, yes, you know, yes, that's true. That is true, okay? But the shift in perspective, the shift in mindset, the shift in mentality for 2025 should be, how can I overcome that? How can I ignore that? How can I grow past the blocks, the stumbling blocks of life? Because like I said, as long as we're alive, guys, as long as we're breathing and we're here, we have to face things head on. We don't get to bow out, cower down and say, don't hurt me, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Oh, it's gonna hurt us. Like, if anything has not taught us anything, like, it's going to hurt. And in fact, it hurts more. It hurts more when we don't face it head on. And so on a personal level, going into this year, that has been the shift in mentality for me. Is like, I want to face things head on this year, you know? Things that occurred last year, or habits or whatever that I don't think worked out for me. It's like, I want to face that head on. I don't want to cower in the corner. I don't want to say, oh, I'll deal with it next week. No, I want to deal with it now, you know? And I find that shift in mentality, that shift in mindset has helped me tremendously. Even when it's excruciating, I'd rather deal with that and face it head on than turn my back to it, and then the problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, you know, miscommunication will come, adversity will come, sometimes, not all the time, like unfair treatment, like yada 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 yada. Like I said, life is not, going back to the same point, life is not fair. Life is unfair. So instead of seeing it as a personal attack, you just deal with it, you know? And you try to find the common ground. You try to find a solution. And so if you're doing all of that, and then the person or situation is trying to like push back at you and cause friction and cause issues, then they're the problem. They are the problem. Because if you're coming to the table, right? If you're coming to the table, fix my pants here. If you're coming to the table, right, and you're being positive and you're being diplomatic and you're being optimistic and you're trying to negotiate with somebody or something, and they want to cause an issue with you, then they're the problem, you know? And then therefore you have permission to cut them at the root. Cut that thing out of your life, because there's no prosperity. There's no reciprocity, right? So everything in 2025, guys, what is this? This is pretty. This is like a frog. I think it's a frog, guys. You see it? Almost everything, I should say, in 2025 should make sense. It should make sense. And the first telltale sign is when something doesn't make any sense, when something isn't adding up, you know? And if you've done your part and something else isn't doing their part, you're not the problem. You're not the problem because you're trying to come to an agreement, and the other party or the other person or the exterior situation is trying to push back at you. So that's how you know that you're not the problem, because you're trying to find the positivity and they're trying to find the negativity. So that's what I wanted to say this morning, guys, is pick and choose your battles wisely in 2025. Do not just throw the year in the towel, in the trash can. A lot of people are like, I don't care about this year, fuck this year. The year just started. The year literally just started, and honestly speaking, like if they're in California or something and their house is burnt down without warning, they have the right to be upset. Just a little quick clarification, right? If someone is in a natural disaster or a man-made disaster, whatever the heck is going on, right, and they just lost something close to them, a person, a car, a relationship, a marriage, a child, whatever, right, a pet, they have the right to be kicking and screaming. They have the right to be upset. But what I'm saying is, how long that person or people dwell on that is their choice. We can't always control what's happening to us, right? My case in point. Okay, there's a road, so it's a bit noisy. 1 second. Case in point. We cannot always control what is happening to us, but we can control how we react to what's happening to us. And that's what I'm talking about is, for example, these people in California, right? Let me get my car because it's really, really loud. Like, it's super loud. The road's right there, guys, so it's like I'm not even able to hear myself. Like, I go in the car. 1 second, guys. Thank God that I had I wore the right pants today. I didn't realize they even had pockets, so I was walking. I didn't have to hold the thing the whole time. But like, let's say for example, I'm back in my car finally. Right. So let's say for example, guys. I know my key's in my hand. Don't worry, my car is like trying to alert me that my key. I know where my key is. Calm down. Let's say for example, the people in California, right? They have the right to be upset. Of course they do. But let's take that as an example of how we can grow, how we can deal with the situation, which is, okay, is it more productive for, let's say that happened to me, is it more productive for that person to be grieving and going to safety, collecting what they can, cherishing, being grateful that they're alive? Or is it better for them to curse and get angry, and then they're not in a safe place and they're throwing a tantrum and they're watching the negative news 20, like which one would you rather pick? Because either way it's unfair, right? Just as an example, this is like how life is. Either way, right? Either way you put it, the situation's unfair. But where the personal power lies, where the choices lie is, okay, how are we going to move forward? How are we going to be able to properly heal and then come up with a plan? Because see, some people are going to bounce back quicker. You know why? Because they're focused on what's next. They're still grieving, they're still healing, but their mentality is different. Whereas the next person may say they just want to, they want to spiral. And therefore giving into a situation that from the beginning was already unfair, giving more power, putting more fuel to that energy is going to only make it worse. It's only going to make it worse. So I'm saying life is very, how can I put this? The choices we make in life, the things we experience in life are like a slippery slope. Okay. And in a blink of an eye, it could go good or it could go bad, right? Like, that's just the fact of life. And so what tragedy, right? What misfortune, what tragedy, what loss, what disappointments show us is, okay, how am I going to move forward? How am I going to choose to make a bad situation, a negative situation, into a positive? Like, that's basically what people have to ask themselves is, do you want positive change? Do you want to bounce back? Do you want to have 2025 be the year of restoration or not? Because that's what God's promised me. And I know that if God promised me that, then I know that God has promised a lot of you all that. And so really the choice between life and death, really, like on its face, a lot of times is down to the choices we make. And I could tell so many stories right now that could tie to what I'm saying. Is like, let's say, for example, a mother gets divorced, right? A mother gets divorced and she's in a nasty, trial, whatever. Okay. One woman is gonna, you know, go back to work or get more educated or start a business, reach out to her friends, be proactive, stay healthy, stay positive, heal, begin a date again. And then this is a severe example, but this is a good example. Like, them is a other lady, right, who is just like stuck, negative, right? She doesn't want to take responsibility for her financial health. She doesn't eat properly. She doesn't take time to meditate. Every single person she comes in contact with, she's bitter, she's rude, right? She chooses not to want to think that she can attract another partner into her life. Like, it's two very different ways of living, two very different ways of productivity. So that's a harsh example, but that's a good one because that happens to a lot of people, men and women. And so a divorce, awful. Like, you don't want to be divorced. You never wanted to marry somebody to get divorced. Of course not, unless you're a gold digger or something, or unless you're an opportunist, which people are these days. But let's just say it on its face, you married for the right reasons, they married for the right reasons, and it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. But the question is, who are you choosing to be? Are you choosing to be the person who's going to have hope and faith that good things are going to be attracted to you, that you're going to make the most money you've ever made in your life, that you're going to be the healthiest version? Like, or are you going to be that divorced person who's going to say, fuck love, fuck this, like, I'm never going to do this again? Or are you going to choose to be more wise and look at getting a prenup, or starting with forgiving yourself? Are you going to forgive yourself? Are you going to forgive that person? Or are you never going to forgive them? Because let me tell you, a lot of people, like, and I can speak from personal experiences, like, no matter what someone or something has done to you, once again, the personal power aspect is you can choose to say if you want to move on or not. You can choose to be bitter. You can choose to stay in this energy of, I'm so angry, look at this person did to me, fuck them, blah 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 blah. But like, where is the reciprocity in that? Where is the blessing in that? Where is the prosperity in that? Where is the happiness in that? There is none. You can't find it. Because why? It's negative. You can't find a positive solution with a negative mentality. You can't find a positive solution with a negative mentality. You see what I'm saying? So if somebody hurts you, right? Somebody lied on you, or somebody lied to you, or something was unfair, Personal power is saying, I am not going to lose sleep. I am not going to derail my health. I am not going to argue with you if you don't want to hear me out. And if you don't want to collaborate with me, then we have nothing to discuss. That should be it. Especially as adults, like either we're moving forward and we're both benefiting, or whoever deserves to be benefited, whatever's going on, like or we have nothing. Or we have absolutely nothing to talk about. And it's that simple. It's like that simple. So if something has played you and something has disrespected you, something has turned their back on you, something has let you down, the best thing you could do is to not go back to what hurt you, right? Humans do it all the time, right? People do it all the time. They go back to, they try to do the same thing over and over and over, and they're getting the same result because what they're doing or what they're participating in is not making their life any better. So wisdom, so something that, I don't know, I just feel like bringing this in the video, like Solomon in the Bible, he prayed for wisdom, right? I think John as well. He prayed for wisdom, and that's something that me personally, I'm going to be really praying for more of, is like to have the wisdom, to have the wisdom to know better, to do better, to move better, because there's nothing worse than going through life and feeling like you don't have control over your life. When something happens to you, you're not able to bounce back. You're not able to breathe even, because after you solve one thing, here comes the next wave. But maturity says the weapons may form, but they're not going to prosper, because the knowledge and the wisdom that I have is going to give me the power and the strength and the authority to move differently, to get out of a situation where it feels like there's no hope. It feels like there's no way that I could possibly live another day. There are some people right now, whether watching or not, who are, as I'm making this video, there is people on this earth right now who want to take their life because they feel like so disenfranchised, so disempowered, so down on luck, that whether you're rich, poor, working class, don't matter. There is so many people in this world right now, especially in America, that are giving up. And they're telling people on social media, I give up. I don't want to be here. And I see it almost every day, But you have to understand that that's a trick, okay? You have to understand that, like, you win, You will always win. You will always win the game of life if you take stock in things that you're grateful for. Like right now, I have something going on in my life that I know is unfair. It's outright unfair. Like no qualms about it. Okay? But I know that there's no power. There is no personal power in me dwelling in that and saying, woe is me. That's only going to try to ruin a perfectly beautiful day. So wisdom, intelligence says, why focus your energy on something that doesn't make you happy and isn't benefiting you, right? And put your energy in something that does. There's more power in putting your energy into something that is empowering you, aka reciprocity, prosperity, than putting your stock, putting your energy, putting your thoughts, putting your essence, right, into a situation or a thing that you know is not trying to empower you, that you know is trying to get you upset, that you know is trying to steal your joy. If you know that something is trying to steal your joy, why put energy into it? And that's and on a personal note, I'm thinking to all these people who lost their house, you know? And I'm trying to find a silver lining, and I'm trying to find the lesson in that, because a lot of people will not do that, right? Instead of trying to find a silver lining in that situation, a lot of people would just curse God. They would curse their mayor. They would curse this and curse that, get bitter, get upset, get angry. And it's like, there's nothing blooming from that. There's nothing that's turning beautiful from that, right? And so, as an example, like when my dog died, I didn't want to cry. It was out of nowhere. I mean, one day she was smiling and I had a feeling, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. I had no clue, you know, and I was very, very weary of dwelling upon that loss, because I knew that if I was to give day in and day out this, once again, this woe is me mentality of, oh my God, this is so unfair. Oh my God, I love her. Oh my God, why is she not here? This is, what is going on? I would be spiraling. I think Abraham Hicks had that chart where I'd be basically giving into the negative reality, a negative time limit, a negative experience that doesn't have to be negative. Like, everybody dies, even animals, right? We're not going to be here forever, guys. So, of course you mourn, of course you're sad, but then the wisdom in that experience was, let me dwell upon how much joy she brought me. Let me be grateful to God that we were able to rescue her, because she was a rescue animal, right? And I'm not trying to get emotional, but I did not want sorry guys, I just did not want her life to be in vain. And there was a moment where I looked up a video of an intuitive who did a pick a card reading that was a message from your deceased loved one, and it was targeted towards people who lost a pet. And the option I picked, I believe it was pretty, it felt like it did resonate. And there was a part in the reading where the person was like, your loved one does not want you to dwell upon this like this, you know? Your loved one does not want you to be suffering. And I really felt that, like, I really felt that, because it's like, of course she wants me to like love her and want to see her again and want to celebrate her life. But at the same time, it was becoming something that was like very traumatic. And even I'm crying right now, you guys can tell, like, it was a shock, you know? But personal power said, am I going to transmute that and send her love and thank her for being a part of our lives? Or am I going to curse the wind? Am I going to be angry? Am I going to say, why me, why me, why me? Knowing that all of us die. All of us do not live forever in this flesh body. So it's all about perspective, guys. And my heart goes out to all of you out here. My heart goes out to all of you who are in California, or you know somebody in California, or maybe you just are having a bad day. I don't know. But you have to know that, like, we have choices, okay? And like where we choose to put our energy means everything. And in 2025, I will send love and light to every single person who, you know, wants to give up and wants to say, fuck 2025. I could never say that. I came into the new year happy to be here, happy to be alive, want to take on challenges head on. You know what I'm saying? Like looking for pockets of creativity and fun, and looking forward to traveling, you know, like being positive, guys. Like we only have this one life in this body. And I'm saying, why use it to be negative? Why use it to say, oh, you know, one bad thing happens and oh, it's just like, that's so negative. You know, give the year a chance. Give the God and goddesses, give the universe a chance to show you how good it can get before you throw them a towel, before you curse the wind and say, I'm out. Deuces. That's a choice, you know? I could be the first person. I could be the first person right now to say, fuck the year. Fuck this year. I have a lot of reasons too. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you. I could be the first person to say fuck this year. But I haven't, and I'm not going to. And I don't feel that way because your attitude sets the tone. Your energy sets the tone. Right? Your vibration, your frequency sets the pace. And if you are putting out nothing but garbage, hot garbage, you're going to get that back. And I'm not saying that out of to be mean or be harsh or none of that. I'm telling you guys what I know. I'm telling you guys what I know. And it may sound harsh initially, but it's not meant to be harsh, guys. I just want people to just wake up, you know? And I want to help however I can. And like I said, you know, I watch my own videos back. You know, my own videos help me shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times I'll go back to my own video and I get clarity for myself. So if anybody else getting clarity, I'm getting clarity. See what I'm saying? So it's not in vain. You know, none of this, guys, is in vain. None of this is in vain, guys. You know, none of this is in vain. None of it. So make the choice today, guys. I'm sorry for getting, I'm not sorry for being emotional right now because that was genuine and it wasn't planned. And I just, you know, that just shows like it hit close to home. You see what I'm saying? But we all have a choice to make, guys. You know, you could choose to find, let's put a water bottle here. Come on, water bottle. You can choose to find a solution. You can, no matter how hard it is, you can choose to find a solution and get back up and brush yourself off and be the champion you are and being the victor that you are and being a strong mental person you are, or you can choose to sulk and curse the wind and curse God and be negative. It's totally up to you. I don't know why this person's stopping when they come in. You know, it is totally up to you. It is up to you what you choose to do with your life and your everyday life. And so I say look for that solution. That's what I say, you know. I say don't give up. You know, that's what I say. Because all the beautiful moments in life, you know, all the beautiful moments in life that you could have enjoyed, the beautiful day or moment in the day you could have encountered. If you stay stuck in that negative zone, you're not gonna get to experience all the other beauty that's out here. Like I told you guys that I want to go back to my home country, and I'm not particularly fond of living in America, but guess what? I did tell you guys that while I'm here, I'm gonna enjoy it. Did I not? I did, right? I did. I specifically told you guys, that I am going to enjoy, you know, my environment. Even though I don't want to be here long term, I'm going to make the best of it because I'm choosing to be positive, you know, in a sticky situation. I'm choosing to look on the bright side. And that's what I want, especially my subscribers, to do. If you're subscribed to me, I don't want you to go through 2025 cursing the wind, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, it's not going to get you anywhere, okay? You being negative about every little thing is not going to help you. So the people on TikTok and whatever else out here that's trying to like just they don't see all the good that could come of the year, that could come of their life, is sad. But like I said, some people are in a dark downward spiral, you know, they really are. And some people are aware of it and a lot are not, you know, and they've been living in that depression, they've been living in that sadness for so long that when they're presented a different opportunity to a better quality of life, they don't know how to take it or receive it because they're so used to being let down, you know? A lot of people are used to being let down. So whenever something good comes their way, it's hard for them to believe, you know? And that's sad because life beats them down so much that they're not even sure how to bounce back. But that is, I'm telling you guys, that is a trick of the enemy. The trick of the enemy wants to keep you in a thought processy of it's never gonna get better, it's never gonna, there's no hope, there's no way out. That's not true. What you say is what you shall have. So if you declare over yourself, I am debt free, I am the healthiest version of myself, I am loved, I am well taken care of, I am happy, I am grateful, I am blessed, I am lucky, I am prosperous, I'm intelligent. You start changing the script, right, on that negative voice or negative people or whatever is coming against you, and you send it back. And you say, I don't believe that. I am not going to believe that negativity, okay? That's how you do it. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it takes life beating your ass, you know, things really being shit, for you to stand up for yourself and say, fuck that, I'm not gonna live like this. I'm not gonna accept this bullshit, you know? And sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom to reach the top. That's a word. So I love you guys. Have a great day. I hope this helps somebody out here. Definitely helped me. I did over an hour at the park. I'm proud of myself. But that's the message for today, guys. You pick and choose your battles and you stay positive. Okay? 2025 is the year of restoration. It is. It absolutely is. And you can choose to look at something negatively, or you can choose to be grateful and count your blessings. As corny as it sounds, you can choose to count your blessings and say, you know what, I'm still alive, I still have a roof over my head, or I still have food. Whatever you could be grateful for, you be grateful for, and then watch your blessings multiply. Rarely do blessings multiply with being negative. Rarely do blessings multiply with complaining. Like, it doesn't work that way, guys. You have to stay, no matter what, you have to stay positive. And I've seen miracles in my life, and I want to see miracles in you all's life. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, okay? So feel free to like, subscribe, and share. This is probably one of the most important videos I've ever made in my life, because it's just, you know, how we perceive reality. You know, we've got to take our power back, guys. Okay, love you guys. Bye.